What is going on, guys? This is Marcia here with another episode of the Lady Strong Fit Cast. And today I actually have August, member of the month, Becca. Her and we're going to be talking about how she lost 20 pounds in just under 4 months.
So the big question is this. How were two women who didn't cheat and purchase a gym franchise model, how were they able to spread their mission and purpose by empowering and transforming hundreds of women's lives through fitness, nutrition, mindset, and accountability with a micro gym business model of women only? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. We are Lady Strong Fitness.
Becca, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. So I got a chance to read a little bit about your bio, but for some people that don't know who you are, please tell a little about yourself.
So I found Lady Strong Fitness through Coach Dawn. She used to be my coach at another gym. And then I had taken a hiatus from the gym just for personal stuff going on. And I was looking to get back into it. And so from her Instagram, I had started following Lady Strong Fitness. And I was always thinking, I'm going to get back into it eventually. I'll do it eventually. And then I saw the post for the scholarship. So I, at that point, filled out the application for it. And then I've kind of been all in since.
I love that. So I want to back up a little bit because for some people that don't know about the scholarship program, this is something that we only offer at the beginning of the year and towards the end of the year, where we nominate one candidate out of all the applications that we receive to be a part of our community for free for 12 weeks, and we take them on as a client. And based on your story, the story that you shared with us, our team decided to nominate you. And I will say, in just a short span of time, losing 20 pounds is incredible. So congratulations. Want you to, you're welcome. I want to kind of get a little bit more on how you were able to do that. So what would you say would be the biggest piece to the puzzle for your success?
I really dialed in the nutrition quickly.
Okay.
I previously, before doing this, I've been on different diets. So from those, I have taken things and learned things about like counting calories and all that. So I was able to jump back into that pretty quickly. My water intake definitely went up, even though it's a struggle sometimes still. And then just getting to the gym 3 times a week and at least Monday through Friday, really, really focusing on the little details. Saturday, Sunday, maybe I would let it go a little bit, but because life happens and weekends get busy. But yeah, Monday through Friday, I was just really dialed in.
I really like that. And I can't help but noticing, because what you said, changing your nutrition, and right behind you, I'm reading on your mirror, to change is difficult, to not to change is fatal. Would you agree with that's how your fitness and wellness journey has been so far?
Yes, actually on my mirror, I do have 3 quotes. So that one was actually the inspiration for my niece's dance.
Okay.
For her near dance. So, and I kind of latched onto it and just really dove in. And then one of the other ones says, what's the best that can happen? And so what's the worst? And then from Coach Dawn, the other one I have is, what happens when you quit, what happens if you don't.
Yeah, I love that.
So
cool.
These are by me all the time. I look at them. They're, when I want to give up, sometimes you just need a little bit of inspiration.
That's a good segue to talk about mindset, because you have those inspirational quotes. How has your mindset shifted? And if you don't mind me sharing, reading your bio, you've had some very personal things that I came up over the last year. And condolences go to your family, because I know you recently lost your father in the last year.
Thank you.
And I know that could be difficult, and some people can get stuck in that rut. How are you able to change your mentality and make yourself the focal point?
Part of it is just my bullheadedness of I know I want to do it, and I've said it before and I'll say it again to myself over and over. Just that stubbornness of doing it, and just even on days I don't want to do it, I stick with the bigger picture. Changing the mentality, it really is diving in and seeing the day to day. And realizing that, progress, not perfection, is another one that you got to live by. and just really dialing it in even when I don't want to.
I like
It's hard to, honestly, like life happens. I mean, even this month I've had stuff happen where, I prevented me from getting to the gym as much.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean other stuff can't fall by the wayside. It's choosing the lifestyle.
100%.
So yeah, some of it for me is just being bullheaded and just doing it.
That's fair. So we talked about mentality. We talked about nutrition. I want to talk about the fitness side of things because in your bio, it says you gotten stronger. I know some people can be intimidated, and women in particular, to lift heavier weights because they think it's going to make them bulky. And that's clearly not the case. So how has your fitness side been? How many workouts do you typically manage per week? Where are you lifting? How's your progress? Like, tell us all, please share the fitness side of things.
So the fitness side of it, I go 3 times a week. In April, that did take a little bit for me to get into, just like adjusting life and adjusting the balance and finding the balance. And I mean, I schedule out as far as I can. When you guys put up a new month, I am already scheduled.
Perfect.
I adjust my schedule if I need to, but I make sure I have those 3, and it's just a part of my schedule now. Like, it's just there, and I make sure I do it as much as possible. Obviously, stuff happens.
For sure.
But yeah, lifting, and from working out before and lifting weights before at the other gym, like, I'm not where I was, and I always, like, I get so stuck in like mentality of, oh, I have to be that good, but like I have to also remember that it's okay to dial it back sometimes.
Yeah.
So I started with a moderate, like 10, 15 pounds, and then I just worked my way up from there. I noticed when I'm pushing overhead, yeah, I can only do 15, but when I'm pulling up, like doing the rows or the grill rows and stuff like that, I can go a lot heavier. Or if we're squatting, like, I can go a lot heavier, and my improvement in my squats and lunges, because I have knee issues also, finding that balance again, being able to do more has improved in just a little bit of time. Like, I mean, it's not perfect, but that's okay too. Yeah. Like, I know I'll get there, and I know I'll keep progressing. For sure. It's just, it takes time.
Yeah.
And playing around with it a little bit to like find what weight you can do.
Yeah. So let's talk about more of your goals. Now that you lost 20 pounds, where do you foresee yourself being over the next, I would say, like 6 months? And then if you don't mind sharing as well. So I have like almost a 2-part question. What has been some scaled victories and non-scaled victories for you as well? Please share.
So scale victories, I've been weighing myself every day, which at first I was so against and didn't like, because that number fluctuates so much day to day. And one day, you weigh in and you're good on track. The next day you weigh in, you're like way up, and you're like, oh, what the heck happened? I do notice, like, so like normally I work out Monday, either Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday. So like Saturday morning is like normally my sweet spot, like the good weight. And that normally carries into the next week. So to see the fluctuation, I have gotten used to, and like knowing that it's okay. Moving forward, I do want to keep losing weight, because there are a ton of non-scale victories, like you said. But the number helps too, right? Like, to see that number go down, it's fair. It's satisfying. But before the number even like started really moving, I noticed my jewelry was getting looser. My one ring that I wear all the time is super loose now. Just the way my clothes were fitting, how I felt, at energy level, which it's funny to say, because it's like before I used to not do as much and not be like as physical at all, and I would be tired all the time. Sure. Now I'm working out and my schedule is busier. Okay. But I have more, I love, like, and I sleep better. And it's funny to think how that's such like you would think could be the opposite. Yeah. But it really, that energy boost is crazy, and I love it. I still have my coffee, but I can't start my day without it. But
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So I have a question for you. Now, we offer a lot of amenities and resources inside the studio, and I'm just curious, have you taken advantage of any of those? Meaning, like, do you have your Strong Her certification? And if so, are you now using the Axle bar, or do you plan on it? And have you taken any of the Strong Her 45 classes? I'm just curious as to, because here's the thing. We all know, like, you can't continue to do the same thing or else you continue to get the same results. So my question is, like, what are the things you're going to do differently moving forward to continue with receiving the results on that scale?
Yeah, so I did not do the Strong Her certification yet. I plan on maybe to eventually.
Okay.
I do push myself to do heavier weights.
Okay.
So like I'm still on the weight rack that's like at the rack basically. I think with hip bridges, is the only time I go over to like the big rack, right? But I do push myself to work my way up, and especially if I know it's a day where it's kind of like work at your own pace or it's a lower number, I'm gonna try and push myself. And I keep trying to push myself to see if I can do it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, doing dropping and going back on if you need to, or for, the next set, doing a lighter set, so you get that progression.
I like that. You're going to know you're ready when you are more than capable of utilizing all the dumbbells on the rack, to the point where it's almost easy for you and you need to go accept another challenge per se. So that's nice to know that, like, your limitations on what your strengths and weaknesses are. And it's just a matter of time, like you said, that you'll continue to progress to that next level. So Becca, what I like to do is end each episode with asking a question. And the question is, if you had any advice for one or two people, someone that's on the fence about joining Lady Strong Fitness, or someone that is stuck in a rut that is probably already a member at Lady Strong, but they haven't necessarily like hit that threshold or broken that plateau, what would your advice be for those two people?
Somebody that's thinking about joining, I would say do it. You don't know what you can do until you try it. It is intimidating at first, but trust me, you get way more comfortable. The coaches and all the staff are amazing and make you feel comfortable. You'll start to, like, especially if you go to the same classes, you'll start to see people, and you just, that anxiety of like, oh, I'm the new person, like, goes away. And then you see the new people coming in and you can tell that that's where they're at. Yeah. And the environment is just very welcoming. There's no judgment. There's nothing. We're all there to improve no matter where we're at, be it somebody who can do, the heaviest weights and do everything, or be it somebody brand new who's never lifted a weight ever.
Sure.
Or the people that are on like a plateau, I'm sure I'm going to hit one too. Listen to the coaches. Coach Don and Coach Christian give amazing advice every week on the Facebook page. I tune into those all the time. I ask questions if I have them, be it about whatever they're talking about or in the gym. If I have a question, like, it's a resource, like, there's resources at our fingertips here that are amazing, and use them. Like, don't be afraid.
For sure.
Because somebody's going to be able to do something to help you break through to the next spot.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. So you don't know this, but what I'm going to do is include your before and after photo as we're talking right now. And it's amazing in just a short span of time, the progress that you made again, joining Lady Strong Fitness. So I'll make sure to include that in there. And you can see your face lit up in that second photo. So really excited to share that. But again, I appreciate you taking the time to be on this podcast episode today. And ladies, thank you so much for tuning in of another episode of Lady Strong Fitcast. Have an amazing day, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you like this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel or find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or whatever your favorite place is to listen to podcasts. And if you really liked this episode, please leave a review for us on iTunes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.